What is going on, everyone? It's Ricky with Learn Plan Profit. Hope you guys are all having a great start to the morning. It's been pretty productive. As you guys can see right now, total profit on the day is $848.40. I'm going to show you all these were taken during pre-market hours. You can see all my orders, the buy, the sell, the buy, and then the sell. I could also show you here. All I traded was DWT. I'm going to click on show orders and allow you to see where I bought, where I sold, where I bought, and where I sold. My last trade was 5,000 shares, which equates to about $40,000. So in essence, I didn't even fully enter that position, but I made quite a bit. I made almost just as much on my my second trade than I did on my first trade. So I thought that was pretty impressive. I could have made much more, but again, it's pre-market hours. The volatility is kind of all over the place, and there was no reason for me to have to rush it, right? So hope you guys are all having a great start to the morning. I'm pumped. I'm halfway to my daily goal. So that means that I literally just have to make a little bit less than 1% for the remainder of the day, right? And this is one last thing that I want to remind you. I know that I'm going to annoy you, but I want to make sure that it makes sense. Every single day when you log onto your computer, every single day when you get on your smartphone, every single day when you're logging into your brokerage account, you are put to the test to manage your risk, your discipline, and the ability to be patient enough to allow the opportunity to present itself every single day. I don't care. I do not care how much money you made yesterday. I don't care how much money you made the day before that, the week before that, or the month before that. Just like I don't care, the market doesn't care either. I don't want to say that I don't care. I think it's super cool. Let's be honest. You guys know that I'm super pumped for you guys. But you know that the market does not care how much you made yesterday, how much you even made in the past 30 minutes. You are put to the test every single day. So if you feel like you have some form of entitlement because of your track record, then trust me, if anyone can slap you back into place and back into reality, the market can do it. So remind yourself, every single day, you are being tested. You are being challenged by the market with your patience, with your ability to manage risk, and the ability to allow the opportunity to present itself. So let's just keep that in mind. So before you take your next position, let there be a reason behind that trade. That's all I'm going to leave you with, right? And that's where I'm closing out the live stream. Totally kidding. Today's the natural gas report. It's one of my favorite days trading. I know that I can make, the 1% that I'm aiming for just within that short period. But one thing that I am going to be paying attention to is right now, natural gas, I don't think that there's a super clear direction. It is showing signs of an uptrend. It pushed up, pushed down, but it's kind of just consolidating. It didn't really make higher highs anymore, and now it's pulling back. So we don't know if it's going to find a support here and then continue to push up, or if it's going to continue to descend. So let's give that a little bit more time. At least in my eyes, it doesn't make that much sense right now. One of the things that I'm seeing happen a lot right now is I want to ask you, before I give you my 2 cents, what's going on right here? So it was showing signs of an uptrend, and then guess what? When it became overextended at 52.70, what did I post? What did I post for all those all of you that are part of Learn Plan Profit? /CL looking overextended at 603. /CL pulling back, /CL below the EMA line. It made sense. I gave it time. I gave this pattern time for it to become overbought, overextended, so the inverse ETF becomes oversold, and then I wait for the confirmation of the pullback, the break below the EMA line, the break below the middle VWAP, and then the continuous sell-off. I allowed the opportunity to present itself. Now, what's happening? What's going on right here? It was pushing up. It was selling off. What do we have going on right here? It starts with a C. What do we have going on here? 3 stages of a reversal, right? Rejection. I want everyone to say it. If you're tuning in, I want everyone to say it. If you're tuning in, what do we have going on here? Is it making higher highs? within this little area? Is it making higher highs? Is it making lower lows? Is it selling off or is it pushing up? We don't know yet. We don't know if it's going to actually reverse. We don't know if it's going to actually continue to sell off. It is consolidating, right? It is in the stage of consolidation, meaning that, yeah, you can definitely make money on the low points to high points or high points to low points, right? But we don't know which way it's going to be going. We need to wait for that confirmation. And it looks like it's pulling back down to this previous support right around 5230. But just as much as it could pull back, it could push up, right? So if you do not understand or know the direction, the way something is heading, what can we do? It also starts with a C. Give it time and wait for confirmation. There we go. Making lower lows, selling off. That's in favor of DWT. I could have made more money, but coulda, shoulda, woulda, right? It doesn't matter how much money you could have made. Again, it's do you feel comfortable entering that position? I can make money doing so many things that are super risky. And there it goes. Super aggressive sell-off. That's great. FOMO kicks in, but that's fine. Because again, we have nothing but time. And we did a great job, right? We did a great job identifying this overextended. We did a great job waiting for this thing to sell off. We did a great job. We did a great job for waiting for this thing to consolidate. And now it did begin to sell off, right? So let's just give it time. Let's feel comfortable with our direction and just make sure that this thing is going to continue to sell off. Just because it did pull back or just because it pushed up higher than we expected it to or where you sold to is irrelevant. Don't slow yourself down based off of the little things, right? Let's keep the eye on the prize. If you saw this potentially happening, great. The next time that you are put to the test, you at least know what could potentially happen. But again, don't always think that you have it figured out. So as of right now, it did sell off pretty aggressively. The MACD has been trying to reverse or forward/CL nonstop. I feel like as we get closer to the SMA line, forward/CL will probably build a stronger support there. So LOL, I would have lost money. Okay, so if you thought that it was going to go up, because I think I did see you say reversing, right? But the thing is, it's like Lethal Weapon Gaming. I just bit my tongue saying your username. That's confusing. But at the end of the day, like you weren't wrong. I mean, it was showing signs of a potential reversal. Like that's the thing. Like you don't have to be sorry. Like I thought the same thing. I thought that it could go up and reverse, right? Or I thought that it could go down. But all we have to do is in this time of uncertainty, we literally just have to do that. Just give it more time to identify its direction. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell the future. And if you get in before the confirmation, just know and accept the risk because that's you putting yourself in that position. Wow, Ricky got some good sleep. He sounds good. That is so funny that you guys say that because Muhammad, I fell asleep at like 8 or 9 p.m. last night. I never fall asleep. I woke up at 1 and I'm like, what the heck? I still had work that I had to do. And then I was like, whatever. And I continued to sleep. And then I woke up at like 5:30, like 5:20. And guys, I feel like $1 million. It's crazy. It's crazy what sleep does for you. Oh man, just full of energy. Guys, if you guys are angry, get some sleep. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. Holy smokes. Yeah, so I can tell because you're very loud compared to Jesus. But yeah, okay. We're getting some consolidation right here. Again, the overall EMA line still has been, acting as a resistance, and it does sometimes break above it. So let's just be patient. Again, if the direction is not super clear to you, please do yourself a favor. Don't do it for me. Don't do it for anybody else. Do yourself a favor and don't get yourself in a position where the direction is not clear to you, where it does not make sense, where you cannot come up. If I were to ask you, if I was right beside you, so if I just go to the left of you and I just go, bah, slap you in the side of the head, right before you're about to take a position, and I tell you, what are you doing? I want there to be a reason. I want you to get mad. Why the heck did you slap me? There's a reason why I'm about to take this trade. That's what I want. So if I slap you and you can't give me a reason, then that slap was worth it, right? So every time that you're about to push that enter button to take that position or click send, or swipe up on your little Robinhood thing, right? I want you to think, like, is there a reason for this trade that I'm about to take? Not due to FOMO, not due to like, oh my God, it's going up, oh my God, none of that stuff, but cool, calm, and collected. Is there a reason? I would never slap a lady. But trust me, some of you fellas, if I ever see you guys, trying to take a position before confirmation and you shouldn't, I will backhand you. No, totally. I wouldn't. I'm not an aggressive person, but yeah, you guys get the point, right? Don't put yourself in a bad position. Don't put yourself in a bad situation that you shouldn't put yourself in. It's not worth the potential reward when you don't understand the risk. Bobby. Oh my goodness, don't say that. Alrighty. I'm excited, guys. I'm excited. So these are all nice, cool little plays, right? This thing's like selling off. Like, yeah, that's nice. I can make maybe like 0.5%, maybe 1% perfectly if I play it perfectly. But let's be honest, I never play any trade perfectly. But the thing that I'm going to remind you is, what is it today? Today is the natural gas report. And if we're patient and we allow the opportunity to present itself, I literally just have to take one more day trade and I'm done for the day. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that like, wow, just one more trade? So if I see another trade setup show up and it's like clear and I want to take it, cool, I'll go for it. But other than that, let's not force it. This is going to be exciting once the LPP building is established and members are trading there. I agree, Ryan. And trust me, for all those guys that think that I'm joking about, coming right beside you as you're in your little trading station at our TechBuds HQ, I'm going to make you sign a non-disclosure and a release of liability. So when I come with a huge foam hand and just slap you right aside of your face because you're taking a position before confirmation, you guys are going to have to come in with helmets, neck guards, and mouth guards. That's what it's going to be like. You guys are not going to come here to trade. You guys are going to come here to train your necks because you guys are taking positions before confirmation, right? Yep, mouth guards and everything. For the ladies, I want to have constructive criticism for you. Because I know you never like to be told what to do. Just kidding. Totally kidding. My mom never liked to be told what to do. Or my ex-girlfriend never liked to be told what to do. So obviously that didn't work out very well. So, all right. When are you opening the trading center? When someone sells me a building that fits both the dealership and the trading center. All right, here we go. I'm gonna get in trouble from the team today. Like, Ricky, you can't be saying that stuff. You guys know I'm just joking, right? Here we go. Okay, so we're becoming a little bit more on the oversold side. It's not really making lower lows anymore, at least not right now. So natural gas is selling off. Let's check this out. Oh, wow. Okay. So broke below. So it looks like ultimately it's changing its direction. Was showing signs of higher highs, right? And then began to pull back. I get this. Right now we're making kind of like these lower highs and it's expected to try to push up and then pull down, so I can make money potentially on UGAS. I just don't like the spread on DGAS, and DGAS is most likely the one that's pushing up right now. So I've just been less attracted to DGAS recently because DGAS is now in the 180s, 190s, in the hundreds, and it never was that that expensive per share. So I don't like the spread. Like, it's a 50-cent spread, and that's a lot of spread for, especially for me that's trading with like $100,000. That's huge, right? /CL broke below. Jesus. Here we go. Oh, I like that. That is true. All right. All right. Let's see. Where's DWT at? Let's see. 814. What a push. Trying to give something time to either gap up or gap down. Gas report was early today. No, I don't think that's it, but that's a good one. Linda is saying that, Ricky, you make it seem so easy, but I'm having such a hard time with it. So Linda, I think I can give you a really good example. It's like, I'm sure you drive a car, right? If you were to get, a teenager that's about to, and a car is something that everyone can do. So the learning curve to get in a car is much easier. But just to put into perspective, if you were to get like a teenager that's about to get their permit, and then you tell them that not only do you have to make sure that you are aware of where it is that you are driving and following the rules, but you have to make sure that you're aware and cautious about other drivers and keeping that all in mind while you're staying cool, calm, and collected as you're driving your own vehicle. They're going to be like, that's so overwhelming. How do you do that? How do you make it look so easy when you drive, right? And it just comes with experience. I can't say that it's any easier for me than it will be for you. I'm just saying that over time, you're working on building confidence, building experience, and building your track record. And the more that you immerse yourself in this market, the more it's just going to begin to make sense. So I agree, like it might be difficult to pick up on certain patterns that maybe I talk about, or it might be difficult for, you to pick up on confirmation and working on your patience and your risk management. But trust me, the more that you practice it, the more that it will begin to make sense. And that's something that I think that we can relate in everything that we choose to pursue. It's don't try to expedite the process, right? Just go with the flow, learn at your own pace, and enjoy the process. You should be trading to learn and not trading to profit, right? Here we go, DGAS with a strong push. So this thing is becoming a little bit too much on the oversold side. So Matthew John is saying sold too early. Matthew, I think you sold at a great time. This is not something that is always 100% expected. So please, no reason for you to try to maximize every single cent when you don't know, like this is inevitable, right? Like this is unpredictable. Like, yeah, you can go with the flow, you can follow with the trailing stop loss, but at the end of the day, let there be a reason behind every entry and every sell. And if there is, whatever happens after is an uncontrolled and an unknown variable. Selling early is a better problem to have than going red. And Matthew, I think you can at least agree on that, right? Here we go. It looks like we're trying to either push up or again get rejected by the EMA line. So let's see where we go. Are we going to get rejected, right? And continue to sell off? Again, the SMA line can be viewed as a potential support. So let's see. Let's see. Oh, looks like we might be getting rejected. There we go. What do you hold during a reverse stock split? Michael, in my experience, no. Usually a reverse stock split, so just to put into perspective, is like if you have 100 shares and they do a 1 in 10 reverse stock split, means that you're going to, instead of have 100 shares, they're going to give you 10 shares, but now each share is worth 10 times of what that original share was. It's due to not manipulate the price, but to make the price per share be valued or looked at as more, because the less it's worth, the worse it's kind of like perceived as, right? So it's not a good thing that a company is going through a reverse stock split. So the action is not positive. at least ever in my experience. Especially ETFs are a little bit different, but when a company does it, that's really bad. In my experience, when a company goes through reverse stock split almost every single time, it looks like it increased in price, but in reality, it's actually dropping in price because the action of going through a reverse stock split is not positive. What's your MACD set up here? Just like it is on the TOS setup platform, like it's default. There's no, you could see my MACD settings, like, where is it? It's like -2, 0, and 2. It's default, just like I explained in the course. You guys with a dip buy potential. No, I know. I mean, I get it. It's just, I like the MACD. I like the RSI. I just have to, this is oh my goodness, /CL. Jesus, look at that. Continuous rejection. With you guys, it's just selling off right now. So it does, and there it goes. It's still pushing up. 820, 821. Wow, I'm really happy we're able to not call out DWT, but at least pay attention to it, right? Here we go. It's a descending pattern, right? So the things that I don't like about descending patterns is we don't know exactly where it's going to peak out at. So I don't know if it's going to just get rejected, right, by the EMA line. I don't know if it's going to get rejected midway to the middle VWAP. The reason that I don't like descending patterns, they're just higher risk, and I trade them all the time. But I'm already up $848 on the day. I have literally 1 or 2 more trades to go, and I'm done for the day. That's the way that I'm trying to think right now. And with that in mind, I don't know if I want to potentially give back some of my profits, put myself in a bad situation. So I don't know if the risk is worth it based off of the position that I'm at already for the day. Do you get what I mean? Maybe if I haven't taken a position, it might be risky for the biscuit, but so you didn't used to say Jesus. Yeah, it was after the Miami trip that I think we tried to refrain from using foul language, and usually I just feel like using foul language is, and I don't think I ever cuss during the live streams anyways, but even with my friends and stuff like that. Wow, /CL. Jesus. Look at that. Ooh. This is a huge sell-off. Look at that. Wow. Perfect reason, perfect example that indicators are good references, but they're never perfect, right? Perfect example that indicators are something to go off of that you can reference, but to never trade off of because they're never 100%. Same with the RSI and all that, right? Just because something's oversold or just because something's, a little bit more on the oversold side on the MACD doesn't mean anything. It's pattern, that's what outweighs everything. So are you just waiting for the natural gas report to trade basically? No, I don't want to say that. I really do like these setups, and that's why I'm going over them time after time. So if you guys see value in them, you guys go for them. Just because I don't take a position doesn't mean that you shouldn't, right? Please don't be trading based off of what I'm doing. But yeah, I just I don't know. I'm a little cautious right now to take a position, right? Especially because of my day yesterday. With my day yesterday and how aggressive that began to, change, right? I just didn't like that feeling of having to recover from a $4,000 loss. And although I did, the experience was not the best, to say the least, How often do you see me stop trading after $1,200 profit? Never. I always go for like 1,500, 2,000. But I was so like shook, right, by that idea of just over trading that I was like, I'm done. Like, I don't want to force anything today. I want to keep it simple, right? Trade less, profit more. Yeah, I like the setup that we have here. So with DWT, if it does continue, right, with where we're at right now, so I'll go in for a small position here. Jesus, come on. Ooh. Back where I bought at. Now we're above the email line. Let's see. All right. Showing signs of a resistance, but it's still pushing up. What's going on? Here we go. / sale pulling back. which is what I want to see, but doesn't mean that it has to happen. So I would like to see lower lows form on /CL. $7 o'clock, what came out that caused this to push up? Strong push, strong change of direction, so we're gonna have the, nope, and there we go. Here we go, pushing up again. And again, this could be a change of direction. This could just be that /CL pushed up a little bit higher. And again, it's going to continue its descending pattern. This should have been a point where I should have considered, should I get in or should I leave it? I thought I had confirmation, and again, in my initial entry right here, it was showing signs of a pullback, and that's why I added more. It just didn't go exactly according to plan, and that's 100% my fault. I put myself in that position, and there's no one else to blame, right? If you get in early, you have to accept. You have to accept the risk involved, and the risk is always, you don't wait for confirmation, and even when you do wait for confirmation, there's just a greater risk for it not going according to plan, right? And I think that that's something that we can all agree on, that there's no one else to blame but ourselves, our patience, and our ability to, again, pass the test. So here we go, solid pullback. Jeez Louise. Here we go. Oh, nope. And the MACD is selling off. The MACD is selling off, but the pattern, and there it goes. The pattern is picking right back up. Let's see. Or the candles, the charts. Which way we going? Oh. Bummer. I put myself in a bad situation. 100%. I put myself in a bad situation, and this is a perfect example. I don't even care. I just didn't want to give back any of my profit. So that was a really, really dumb trade, and I do apologize for that. I'm so sorry. That was loud. I am so sorry. Midwest times to do. I am so sorry for the clap. I do apologize for that. I can only imagine the how loud that was. But I think this is something that we can all relate to. And I'm sorry for trying to go back and forth, but I put myself through a back and forth. I like to call it a roller coaster of emotions. And how many of you, this is turning out to be this pattern and this reversal, and trust me, it would not surprise me if this thing goes back up to nearly $8.30. But guess what? I did not set myself up for success because I originally put myself in a roller coaster of emotions. And what does that do to you? Emotionally and psychologically, right? And there it goes. $8.23, $8.24. I literally would have made probably $500 on that. if I would have been more patient with my entry point. But what could I have done differently? If I did not get in so early and put myself through this roller coaster of emotions, I would have not been so eager to just close out my position as soon as it went according to plan. Do you guys get that? How many times have you guys been put in a bad situation where you're just like, all I want to do is just sell it back at where I bought it at? Because you're being dragged along so long. And then it ends up going according to your plan, and then that even frustrates you even more. Because you're just like, if I would have just waited, it would have gone according to plan. But it's not about if I would have just held longer, it would have gone according to plan. It's about your entry point. If you would have not put yourself through that roller coaster of emotion, you would have then not been so eager to close your position. If I would have gotten in when it was showing signs of an uptrend, even if I got in at 8:20, super late, 8:20, it's at 8:23, 8:24. If I would have gotten in at 8:20, not till 3 minutes ago, I would be up more right now than I was on that trade. And I held it for like 5-7 minutes. And it was frustrating because it was not going according to plan. So again, it's not about I should have held longer and it would have gone according to plan. The outcome is inevitable, but it's what you can control. And that's your entry point. Don't put yourself in a bad situation or in a bad position where you then begin to make emotional decisions. Do you get what I mean? That was my mistake so far for the day. My other two trades, not to pat myself in the back or anything, but I thought those were two solid trades. I have to say that, right? This third day trade that I just took, that thing was poop. Bad trade. But I wanted you guys to understand. It's not just about like me making money or the trade going according to plan, but it's relating to you guys in an emotional aspect. And I think psychologically and emotionally, a lot of you can at least agree with me that you've been put in that position where, you're over it. You're over the trade. And you don't even care if it continues to go up. You're just over it because of your initial position. And even if it just relates to one of you, I'm good with that, as long as you know how to change that. And it's not hoping that you would have held longer, because that's a bad best practice to have, because we never know exactly what's going to happen. But it's better to be efficient and patient with your entry point so you set yourself up for success. And if you agree, then great. If you don't, then it's okay. That's my opinion, and in my experience, that's what I've learned. So, alrighty. Another slap. Ready? Headphone users. Time to wake up. We got 20 minutes. 20 minutes until the report comes out. Look at that. It's at 8:25, 8:26. Gee willikers. I sold at 8:19. Great. I would have made another $700. I would have been up over $1,000 on the day. I would have been at my daily goal. I would have exceeded my daily goal. Ooh. This is what the slap is from. Yeah, I should have had one of you guys come in, and before I took that entry, just go right beside my head. Bah! Ricky, no confirmation. Don't take it. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Sold, got in at 8:20, just sold at 8:26. You should have. Is it too late now? I would say it's too late in my eyes to get into DWT unless it continues to rally, but based off of previous patterns, it looks a little bit on the overextended side, and that's just my opinion. But look at the MACD, look at the RSI. Yes, it can continue to uptrend, but I think at this point it would make more sense to maybe pay attention to UWT, right? It looks like natural gas played out almost exactly like we expected it, right? Making these lower highs. Do you see this? It sells off, it pushes up, it doesn't go as high as it did before. It sells off, it makes lower lows, but when it pushes up, it gets rejected and it doesn't go as high as it did before. It goes down, makes lower lows, and it looks like it's going to try to reverse again. But again, it doesn't even have to break above the EMA line, and that's why it's risky. It's risky trading descending patterns. So yeah, your pilot position is typically before confirmation. Oh. You're back in your glass trading room. It's not glass. It's just the room. But yeah, I'm back in here. I've been here for I think that since the beginning of the week. It feels good to be back. No noise, no distraction. Just me and you. We got this. All right. No excuses. Oh, you know it. Protein shake, yeah. I try to drink one every morning. I found out that these are like healthy protein shakes, and they have like low fat and all that stuff. It has 30 grams of protein, which I thought were good, but I need calories, and honestly, let's be honest, I need fat. So my roommates were trying to get me onto like this like mass gainer thing. There we go, /CL pushing up. I like that, so that's good. /CL pushing up, that's in favor of UWT. We called it. I mean, I don't like saying that. I don't like saying that we called anything, but it made sense and we pointed it out, right? And then it pushed up and there it goes, right? Now the action is happening little by little. But yeah, I was going to buy some of the Enormass or Mass Skinner protein that I don't like making it, so I like it to be in these little containers, but they're freaking expensive. Like, I'm sorry. They think that we're made of money or something, but these were less than $1 per shake. So I was like, hey, I'm a deal hunter. You could keep your protein, you could keep your mass gainer, and I'm gonna stay at Costco and consume that. How much sugar? 1 gram of sugar. Are they good tasting? Yeah. They make my mouth dry. As you can tell, I keep wiping my mouth because it keeps getting dry. That's pretty gross, I'm sorry. But I have water here. All right, here we go. /CL. Waiting for it to become a little bit more on the overextended side. Peter, no, I get that. It's much easier said than done. I just don't like peanuts. And I know if you want it, get it, go after it, but Jesus, man. I just don't like that stuff. I try to have 4 solid meals a day for all those that don't care. I just want to let you know that irrelevant thing that I've been trying to do, but yeah. Let's see. Can we get some? Action. Let's see. Nope. So it is pushing up, and there we go. Here we go. Jesus. Oh no. Thought we waited for confirmation on this one. It's like, come on, Rick, thought you learned your lesson. Ooh, that's a tough one. Guys, I'm sorry. I really thought I waited on this one. I waited for it to pull back. Didn't even... I waited for the break below the EMA line. Here we go. Nope. And that was a baddie. Getting breaks above the middle VWAP. MACD looks overextended, so does the RSI. but that doesn't mean anything until we get confirmation. It looks like it's pulling back. There it goes. Forward slash sale still in a downtrend, yes, but it also is now beginning to do a better job holding above the what's it called, the SMA line, which overall is a pretty good indication for direction. So just something to keep in mind. Yeah. Here we go. Alrighty. Well, we got 9 minutes until the natural gas report comes out. Jesus. And there it goes. Oh my goodness. Bad trade. That was a really bad trade. I actually just saw how much I lost on that one. It's all good. It's all good. Again. That was a really poor entry. I thought we were making lower highs on that one. Nope, doesn't look like it's changing direction. So again, I'm paying attention to forward slash CL right now. And one of the things that I'm noticing is that it's building a pretty strong support around this general area. And one of the things that I want you guys to pay attention to is this SMA line. SMA line is something that I use to have a better understanding of its overall direction. And you know, it was making signs of lower lows and lower highs here. It began to change its direction, and then once the market opened, it began to pull back. It's again approaching this, and because it pushed up and it's kind of almost not making lower lows anymore on the overall day, then you know, it makes it a little bit more attractive that the overall direction might actually begin to trend up. So do you see how the SMA line used to point down, right, and used to act as a resistance? Now we're not really making lower lows anymore on the day. So we were on recent patterns, but we weren't on the overall day. and this is what the SMA line is influenced by. So now we're actually beginning to push up, almost make these higher highs, and continue to trend up. So the middle VWAP and breaking above that would not be something that I would find to be far-fetched, especially if this pattern continues. So 5 more minutes and the natural gas report comes out. So just something to keep in mind. Just so you guys could see, $581 is what I gave back. So way to go, Rick. Way to go. Just let me tell you why I got in, right? So we were showing signs of a sell-off. It was making lower lows and lower highs, and it, was selling off, found a support, pushed up, got rejected by the SMA line, which is what I thought. It pulled back, and then as it was pulling back, it actually broke below the EMA line, and as you saw, I waited for that confirmation. I got in, but I literally got in at one of the highest points, or lowest points on forward/CL, one of the highest points for DWT before it changed its direction. So my initial entry somewhat made sense to me, but yeah, it doesn't always have to. It's not a huge margin that again, it comes down to the very basics. It wasn't like an amazing deal. It was more of like okay, well, it's showing signs of rejection. I could, get in, and then if it gets rejected and approaches this same previous support that it has all here, then I can, make about $500, $700, and that would be nice. But again, and I thought I waited for confirmation. I didn't wait for lower lows, but I waited for the pullback, and I waited for the break below the EMA line. But it's just a perfect example that, patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't have to, especially when things are about to change its overall direction. So lesson learned. Ricky does not get slapped. He has a good reason. Alrighty. But yeah, so let's go ahead and pay attention to natural gas. We still got, I don't know what that was. Something just fell. We got 3 minutes until the report. I'm sorry that I've been live for so long. I've been live for 58 minutes, so apologize. Hopefully you guys aren't completely bored of me. So I would again, one of the things that I want to remind you is I don't trade the actual report. I trade the recovery, and if the recovery actually happens, which doesn't always, happen. So yeah, so I'm actually going to close out the live stream right now, right before the report, just because I've been live for pretty much an hour. So yeah, there's no reason for me to just kidding, to continue to go live, right? That was such a dumb mistake. Not really, but kinda. I just should have done a better job managing my risk. A little slap for Rick. Alrighty. We got 1 minute and 30 seconds. You will recover, you always do. Yeah, that's besides the point. My thing is it's not even about the money that I make off the market, but it's just the principle of putting myself in that position. And I think some of you guys could agree with me that it's oh yeah, okay, cool, I'll make, which I'm super thankful for. I'll make 1,000, 1,200, but it's the efficiency aspect. I'm not really so focused about the dollar amount anymore, but I'm just working on being more efficient and more refined. So it's great when you make money, but it's better when you feel comfortable doing it, right? That's how you know you're getting better. Yeah, so all right, we got about 40 seconds until the report comes out. Which way do you guys think it's going to be heading? Again, please do not hold, yeah, that's what I want to make sure you guys are aware of. We never suggest for you to hold during these reports, as it's always unpredictable, right? We got 20 seconds left. It's kind of just been consolidating for the past couple of days, so it's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, I would say that it's going to be it's going to be in favor of degas. So we have 5 seconds left. So I think that natural gas is going to sell off. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, look at that. in favor and forward slash CL with the push. Wow. Look at that. Huge push. Holy smokes. Oh my goodness. It's already recovering. That's huge, Mark. Let's see. Wow, that was crazy. It's beginning to push up. I'm going to give it more time. Wow. Watch out for the drop. Watch out for the pullback. And there it goes. So I went in with $30,000 and I just wanted to get some skin in the game. So we'll see how it goes. There's no confirmation. Huge form of risk getting in before confirmation, right? Honestly, it'd be nice if it continues to push up, the more margin. It's bound to pull back. Like, that is an extreme amount of a push. So I'm excited to see how it continues to push. Dang it, it's already pulling back. Jesus, that movement is ridiculous. Hold up. Oh no. So I asked you to get at explaining things. So I think your question was, what was it? It was, why do they push up so much or so down? So again, these commodities such as natural gas and crude oil are based off of and certain factors that influence their price are like news, weather forecast, and overall consumption reports. So on a weekly basis, this is pretty much all put together in this nice little report of like, where the demand is at, if it's doing well, if it's doing better than expected. And yeah, it to put into perspective, it's like if a company were to have an earnings every single week, right? It's a direct catalyst that drives the price up or down, and depending on how great or how negative the news is, there's a direct correlation to that. So But yeah. Come on, fill me, punk. Jesus. We'll give it a little bit of gap. I'm gonna be patient. My initial position of $30,000. Think about it. That's like 1/3 or really 1/4 of what I could be trading with right now. So it's a fraction. It's like you trading with $200 or $300 with $1,000 account. So it's really just to get some skin in the game. I want to wait for the confirmation. Let's be honest. If there's any time to wait for confirmation, it's definitely going to be now because, hey, I was doing hot. I'm not doing so hot anymore. Ended up giving back all the profits I made today plus some. So yeah. And it's already picking back up. Jesus. And my position size is too small. I'm going to give it more time. I still think that it has time for it to, dang it. It's already making higher highs. I just don't want to get filled. Yeah, no, I'm going to give it more time. Patience goes a long way. Even if I'm only in with the $30,000, I have to, accept and agree with my patience. I'm not at a point where I can be trading too aggressively. So, let's do it. So, all right, guys, I really do appreciate your guys' time. I hope you guys had fun. I know you guys spent an hour and about 8 minutes with me. Sorry again for the messy hair. But I hope you guys had fun. We talked about I felt like today was a really good example of we covered a lot of best practices. We covered a lot of one big mistake that I made, one bad initial trade, and I got myself out of one of them. I didn't get myself out of the other as quickly as I would want to, but you can't win them all, right? So even if I do end, I hope not, right? But even if I do end today on a red day, you at least know what I did wrong. So now you don't have to repeat the same mistake that I made. So I hope that you either learned something new, enjoyed when I did lock in profits, and or the natural gas report, which is my favorite time to trade. So again, confirmation is key, and it's, in my experience, better to be late to the rally, right, than to be early and then end up ending in the red. So let's be patient. Let's be selective. Let there be a reason for every action that we take. Continue working hard. Continue following your dreams. Let your passion be what drives your success. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team. Oh, yeah, and don't forget, make someone smile today. Take it easy, team.